every time we have gnocchi, it's inconsistent? Stick around. We're going to do a gnocchi recipe that is going to be amazing. My name is Anthony.
And I'm Anna.
And together we're Italian cooking
Unscripted.
Unscripted, because all of the recipes that we're going to share with you come from my mom and her mom. Everything they did was with a pinch, a dash, and a handful.
What are you doing, love?
Peeling potatoes. I gotta peel the potatoes. Nobody peels the potatoes for me. Actually, let me tell you, potatoes are important in making the gnocchi. There's some tricks. When you peel your potatoes, peel them well. Get it all off. You don't want to have any bits of the skin. Have a bowl of water, because potatoes oxidize. And then the cooking is a secret. So I'm gonna peel these. It's gonna take a little while for me to peel all the potatoes. And then once they're peeled, I'll show you the trick in cooking them. Potatoes are all peeled. Thanks for that. Because I was peeling them the wrong way. I've always peeled them that way. But like I said, I've used a knife. My mother had a knife. But anyway, we digress. What is this, you ask? A steamer. That's right. I do not boil the potatoes. Why? Because when you put potatoes, you absorb more water. And water is an enemy when we're making gnocchi. So, steam them. And I'll tell you this, don't just steam potatoes. Steam everything. Corn. I mean, the only thing is you gotta cut the corn in half. But man, it's an amazing
So good.
And when we had it this summer,
So good.
amazing. And done in like 4 minutes. When we were kids, my mother she'd buy corn, right? So we'd go bazonko on corn. And it was like, she put it into boil in this big cauldron like this. And we're all there, is it ready yet? Is it ready? No, it takes 40 minutes for the corn to be ready. Because she was boiling it all the time. But I discovered steaming, it's done in no time. Try to get them all fairly the same size. And here you don't have to worry about water. So even if you cut them into smaller pieces, no big deal. Like that. Steaming. Voila. Hot steaming. Not really. I cooked them. I steamed them, and I gave them a little crush as they were coming out, just to cool them off, help cool them off. There you go. Just a little crush with the fork. I was just horsing around. But I'm going to show you something. You're going to see that my theory holds.
And what's your theory?
My theory of dryness. These are nice and dry. Look, leave no wetness. I got here my fancy schmancy potato masher. I'm going to use this improvising little tool. Fill it in and pack it in real good, like this. I'm going to make myself some space on my pasta board. You want to talk pasta board? Let's talk pasta board. So you can make these on marble, you can make it on granite, you can make it on a kitchen table if you want. But having a pasta board works because it creates friction. So as you're kneading the dough, it's easier to knead the dough. From my perspective, it's worth it to invest in one of these. This is a homemade one. This was made, it's the second one in my mom's lifetime. The first one, she wore it right out. And then she had some dude do this one, and he screwed up because he did it with the grain of the wood going this way instead of that way. And I remember her saying he screwed up, and he didn't know what he was talking about. Now I know why she said he screwed up. Anyway, put it all in this fancy schmancy tool and watch what happens. I'm gonna do it so you can see it. Look at that. It's effortless. It's effortless. You could do this with different instruments. Heck, I've done it with a plate, with the bottom of a plate. But, you know, this is just more efficient. The goal is not to get a puree, but the goal is to get a nice even consistency so you don't get chunks. See how nice? Okay, so we've got a nice little pile here, big pile of potatoes. So what we got to do is you do the same thing like you do when you're making dough. What you do is you make a little hole in the middle. It's warm, but it won't fry the egg. Put the egg in here. Egg is in here. I've got flour. White flour. Could you do with whole wheat? If you sift the whole wheat, that helps. I like whole wheat. I like the taste of whole wheat. It's not as refined. It's a rougher, but it can be done. So we've got the egg in here. I kind of beat this little egg in here like this.
So you made the little volcano?
Mm-hmm. My love, we're going to need some cheese. I put the Romano right in here. Why? For taste. What else can I put in here? I could put chopped spinach. I can put ricotta. I could put some ricotta in it. It'll give it some tenderness. I like some taste in it, so I put some Romano cheese in it. You can experiment. Please, by all means, experiment. So, start playing around with this like this. As we're playing with this, you go and you start adding flour. You add flour and you bring it together. You can have this tool, you can use a knife, but you see now it's like all crumbly. That's okay. We know we gotta add more flour. So, more flour. Kind of mix it like this at the beginning. But you see, you have control. My mom used to do, she used to mix the flour and the potatoes first. And then if you miss, you're done. Because you can't add more egg. You can't add more water to think you're going to get it liquidy. And it's not going to happen. It really isn't. You're kind of screwed. So that's why you're better off going nice and slow. And you add it. And you're looking at this consistency here. And you're saying, oh, this is going to become something that I like. And I like this little tool, this little hand tool, because it allows me to have a control. Keep cleaning the board.
Did somebody bought it for you?
My lovely Anna bought this for me. She always buys me little gifts for cooking, because that's gone. Now, we're starting to see the semblance of a dough. Now this is where the magic happens. This is where I'm like in heaven. I love to knead. I think there's something therapeutic about it. I don't know. I mean, you're connecting with something, with the food. I don't know, the universe. But I love to knead. Dough, gnocchi, pasta, bread. Although you don't have to knead bread that much. That's another show.
So we go back to the spirituality of cooking.
Yeah, there is. It's not just about. It's not just
alchemy,
about.
right?
Yeah. There's a kind of an alchemy to it. Look at the consistency. Look how nice it's coming. It's absolutely amazing as it starts to happen. And we never screw up because we add the flour slowly. Slowly. It's still a little wet. When I go like this, it still does this. So I know I've got to put more flour. But I don't have to worry, I add it nice and slow. So look at this. You see what I mean? When I knead it now, the table is clean. When I knead it, the board is clean. So what that means is it's at a state where it's going to make a beautiful gnocchi. So what do? I roll it up a little bit, and I was going to saran wrap it, but baby, where's that beautiful, one of my favorite dishes, the round one that's all see-through. My favorite. Just do that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. So we'll let this rest. Now we're ready to take the nice dough that we made, the gnocchi dough, and roll them into gnocchi. It's nice and soft. Don't get me wrong. It's not a hard dough, because if it's hard, it's not a good gnocchi. I mean, as kids, we didn't care whatever made my mom's came. We just wanted to fill our bellies. So in the end, my mom really didn't bother her that much. But, you know, if you've got guests coming over, you want to have something that's nice. So slice it up like this. Cover it up. Can I cover it up, babe? I think I can cover it. Most of it. The other two, I'll come and get them.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Flour, important. A little knife. Look at this. So nice. So you can't double it up. You can't start to knead it again. You know, what you did is what you did. But that's okay. Even sometimes it can be a little softer, a little harder. It's not the end of the world. You know, I personally like them pillowy soft. Is how I like. That's how I like to say. I like to see the little pillow. So you get this. I don't know, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in diameter.
So delicately, you know,
Delicately,
work them.
yeah. So here's where the board comes in. Here's where the board comes in. The board comes in the sense that it gives you the good friction to be able to do this. You try to do it on marble. I've done it. You just have to struggle. That's all. So like this, all cut up nicely. Now this is an instrument that Anna just got me. I know a lot of people use it. I'm gonna try it, but I'm really used to it with the knife. Yeah, no. See, I like to have a knife because I could think. How much? I like it 3/4 of an inch, like a little pillow. Oh, look at this, like a little
They
pillow.
are beautiful.
Like a little pillow. I like a little bit of variation in it too. They can't all be perfect.
Perfect in their imperfection.
Perfect in their imperfection. Now, here's the great debate. Do we put a dimple in it? Don't we put a dimple in it? My mother used to put her finger as a dimple. The Italians have a tool that you could rub on it. I kind of got used to this fork thing, but look what I do. I think the camera will catch it. Camera 2 will catch it. It's just a simple dimple. Just a simple dimple. My favorite tool is this. Or we could use this too. Since Anna got me this stuff. There, much better. But see how pillowy?
Good, yeah.
So they're pillowy, soft, and actually like it forms an outer skin, and on the inside it's soft. And don't be too alarmed by how delicate they are. I'd rather have a softer gnocchi than a harder gnocchi. So when you put them aside, a little bit of flour on top. The flour will come off anyway when you cook them.
And then you let them dry a little bit.
That's right. They get dried a little bit, so they
outside.
Exactly. As it sits there, we're gonna have to prepare our sauce, and so as we're preparing our mushroom sauce, these will have time to just attain that perfect texture. But look, see how nice it works? So we've come a long way. That's it. This is the last one to do. Really enjoyable thing to do. I love it. I love all doughs of every type, but I think gnocchi is my favorite. Ravioli is fantastic, but it's complex. It's not difficult. We're going to do a show on ravioli. It's really not difficult, but it's like hyper complex. It's more complex.
More complex.
Yeah, I think lasagna is the most complex dish, but easiest to make because whatever you do, it's going to taste good. But with gnocchi, that's not the case. All you have is the gnocchi and the mushroom sauce. So it better be good, because if it ain't good, it ain't good.
I guarantee you that this is very good.
Thank you, my love.
So those are the last ones.
It's the last batch.
Yeah. And here we have what we prepared. I'm gonna show you just now. Hold on. Here we go.
Darling, do they see that dimple that I'm doing?
Do you want to show them?
Well, no, it's just, I mean, I just touch it, I just tap it like this, right? There's nothing complicated about that, right? Oh, really important, get that flour into it, because if not, if they stick together, then you quai. You don't want to quai when they stick together. Where's the flour? It's all the flour's gonna come off when I put it in the water, because they're just gonna, flour's not gonna stay on. So that's it. That's it. Gnocchi made, not too much effort, easy to do, a little bit of love, and we can do anything.
A lot of love, I think.
A lot of love. That's right. You're right, my love. So these are going in the pot of water. We're gonna get the sauce going. It's all gonna come together. It'll be absolutely amazing. Actually, I'm hungry. So we've got the gnocchi made. They're gonna rest a little while. We're gonna start preparing the mushroom sauce. Now, the mushroom sauce is not like a sauce that's with cream or stuff like this. It really is using the olive oil and white wine and the taste that comes out, that we pull out of these mushrooms, because mushrooms have a taste that's unbelievable. I'd love to do a show just on mushrooms. I think they are the most spectacular food that we have available to us. I mean, when you think about it, they grow out of dead trees and things in the forest that have lost life, and they begin life. So they're absolutely amazing. And I often tell Anna, in our new life in Italy, I think I'd like to go pick mushrooms in the woods. I mean, I have this urge. We're fortunate enough, we have beautiful woods around where we live here. And we go out every once in a while, and I forage for mushrooms. I just, for the heck of it. There are none, but I like foraging for them. So I've got a close and really special relationship with mushrooms. I mean, when you look at them, they're just absolutely astounding. So what kind of mushroom should we be using? I love the shiitake mushroom. I think it's fantastic. I like it for its size and its taste. Now, there are so many different mushrooms. I am no expert in mushrooms, but I do know that big mushrooms that tend to retain a lot of water are not as much fun to work with. I call these radiators in the back. I don't know how close we can get with it. I call these little things radiators because I think they're the things that absorb the water as they grow, etc. Some of the bigger ones are really, really big, so you got to scoop that all out, because if not, it's too much water. You try to saute them, and it makes like a broth as you're doing it. That's not where we want to go. We really want to use a nice mushroom that sautés well and doesn't release too much water, but releases a lot of flavor. So let's cut these beautiful mushrooms up. I think there's like half a pound.
Did you wash them?
Oh, good question. That's a good question. What I do, because most of them are grown in peat moss and farms, I just use a paper towel to get any peat moss off. So let's do the final preparation before we start making the sauce. I think, well, I would say that parsley is as much a star in this sauce as the mushroom. Without the parsley, not possible. Take out the big stems. This parsley comes from our beautiful little garden on our patio. Nice chop. And it's 2 batches of parsley. One we put when we cook. Another batch we're going to put after we cooked. Kind of like the pièce de résistance. So, over here to the pot. Turn that on. Get it to warm. Get some oil here. Now, it's not a flood of oil, but you've got to put oil because that's the base for what we're cooking. Throw in that garlic immediately and the onions together. Ooh, we've got a nice little saute going. Take it down, take it down. There's a tendency for these electric stoves to overcook. They seem to have just two settings, really high or off. So I'm really, really careful, especially on these. Take the opportunity to put in some salt. Only kosher salt.
Kosher salt,
Of course,
yes.
yeah. We know why only kosher salt. I'm a bit crazy when it comes to this part because I know it means a lot in terms of getting the flavors out.
Mm-hmm. So now you're going to throw
all this beautiful mushroom right in there. But we got to crank up the heat because it's going to lose heat. The moment it goes in there, it's going to like, oh, cold shock. Ready, ready. Right in there.
Let us see, let us see. Yeah.
Right in there.
The smell is amazing.
Amazing, yeah. Get the mushrooms going, coated nicely, nicely. They're all happy in here. Everything is happy. We put in some salt. I'll taste it after for more salt. But I want to get this sauteing a little bit because that's when mushrooms start giving up the flavor. And we're getting a nice roux at the bottom that we're going to scrape once we put the wine on. Not complicated, eh? We just start a little bit of oil, garlic, some onions, throw in the mushrooms. This is not complicated. Let's get it screaming.
That's a good
now the
part.
wine is really, really important here because that's what's going to form the sauce. So don't be shy. Eh? Go to a cup and a half. No rules on that one. We don't have to worry about the heat now. So now we've got this infusion of what will be the sauce. Mm-hmm. And we can let this simmer, even put it aside a little bit. We don't have to fret too much on this. This is the beauty of our
For how long
recipe.
you let them simmer?
This, I'd say maybe about 8-10 minutes. The emulsion is coming through. You see that?
Oh, yes.
Peppa boy. From Saturday Night Live. Peppa boy. Pepper is very, very important in this dish. And get in some parsley, stir it up, and we're done here.
No cheese there?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
That's coming in when we put it all together. Set that aside just a little bit. Let it soak in those flavors. Mm-hmm. Ready for the gnocchi to go in?
Let me take a peek. Okay. Half of the parsley, you put it there. And then gnocchi coming in. Ooh.
When they start floating, they're done. You watch these babies coming up, that means they're ready. So we scoop them from here. We've got that pasta water into here because we need a little bit of pasta water too. So as we bring them in, it's going to carry in some of that pasta water and we may need it. As soon as they go in, they start to cook right away again. And that's when all the infusion is happening. And now, once they're in here, here's where the magic happens. As we're stirring this in here, we're getting it all nicely coated. Guess what we put in here? The cheese. Lower this, a little too high. So you could tell right away. And when it, you know, a trick that I've learned, you can never lower the temperature fast enough. So just lift it. It'll cool in 2 seconds. Get that cheese in there, that's going to infuse. We can add more cheese after. See, I feel it, it's a little strong. Mm-hmm. I calm it down by lifting it up.
Oh my God, that
Look at
looks
this.
so good.
And this is mushroomy, I would say. That's mushroomy. Nice and low. You will put in more parsley now that it's cooked. Like that. We are ready to plate. So here it is. Gnocchi with mushroom sauce. You can see how the sauce is just light. There's no cream, but it's creamy. It's creamy. Go ahead, my love. Let's taste this. Oh my God. Bing, I'm like high. It is utterly amazing.
Amazing.
Incredible texture. I mean, this is a beautiful dish. I invite you guys to make this dish together.
Write to us.
Let us know.
Yeah. And
try it out. Let
post
us
some
know.
pictures.
Post some, exactly. Yeah.
Share the love.
Exactly. Share the love in the food. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. We love you.
Bye.